You've been watching and listening to The Becky and Boca Show. Tune in every Thursday night to discover all the ways to spoil yourself and have a good time in beautiful Boca Raton. See you next week.
Zodiac Vodka is an American-made, all-natural, gluten-free potato vodka. Only 2% of vodka is made from potatoes. We use regionally grown potatoes and water from the Snake River aquifer. We start with the best agriculture to make a superior product. It is rapidly growing as a bartender's choice drink. Go to ZodiacSpirits.com to find your cocktail. Remember, must be 21 years or older. Drink responsibly. ZodiacSpirits.com.
Welcome to the 2-Minute Warning, a sports talk platform that will examine current issues in the world of sports, the athletes, and the communities they impact. With your host, former NFL star Benny Blades. Benny will be speaking with both current and former athletes, asking the questions about the lessons they've learned on their journey and how they impact the community. Call into the show now at 888-565-1470. Mr. Blades, are you ready?
I am ready, and welcome to the 2-Minute Warning. I'm your host, Benny Blades. Before I get started, I want to thank my sponsor today, Wines for Humanity, for supporting the show today. And so I appreciate them. And I have on the line right now my little brother, I call him. Not only was he a friend growing up, he's truly a little brother. I have Daryl Porter on with me right now. What's going on, DB?
All is well, my brother. All is well, as best that we can be right now.
You said it. Look, we've been talking a lot about the draft for the last couple of weeks, and I tell people all the time, and I want to get your take on it. Look, everybody, seems to think you have to be a first rounder or even to get drafted to have success in the National Football League. Give me some little intake of your time in the National Football League and how it has helped you with what you're doing right now.
I think it was one of the best opportunities and in my life of being able to have people like yourself and Brian as mentors all through my life. But when it came down to it, it was more about hard work and knowing that the steps of getting that far into the NFL. Being a hometown South Florida kid, growing up here, going to St. Thomas, and not knowing much about the college level until my junior year. It's not like the way these kids get it now, being Instagram, social media. We didn't have that. Coaches actually came out and watched you play.
That's right.
So this is all still new to me, and with the kids getting offers, there's so much we can talk about, and being around it for so long, 7.5 years in the league, and that's something that watching you, especially being a defensive back, mentoring and understanding how to play the game and being able to work to get where you are at that level.
Look, tell people a quick story. I tell people all the time because when you went up to Detroit and people say, wait a minute, you're Benny's brother? Wait a minute. And they had to tell you all the stories about how I was a warrior and how I played hurt and all of that. And I ain't gonna never forget you saying, man, look, I ain't finna be doing all of that right now. Just tell the people,
Right.
because people don't realize it's a different ball game when you know somebody and you go to a program where people have seen success from that person by you being my little brother. I mean, hey, people thought you were supposed to instantaneously, to be
Yeah,
a huge star, but they don't realize you had to work your butt off.
the expectations was really high. And going to Detroit, I got drafted by the Steelers, and going to Detroit that same year and stepping in, Robert Bailey, as you guys probably know, is a profile. One of the lawyers for our helps out, Drew Rosenhaus, was the guy that took me in when I got there. And knowing that, Benny's little brother, Benny's little cousin, however you want to put it, the expectations of me going there, they expected me to know and do well, which I did. But Benny's 230, I'm 189 pounds, and that's something that I play like I'm 230. But Benny will, he hits like that. I hit like that too, but sometimes it wasn't good for me, per se.
Yeah. Well, you had a great career in the National Football League. But what I like about it now, Darryl, you've transformed your whole life into caring about these kids. You know what I mean? Tell the people exactly what you and Aronde and Pat Surtain are doing over at American Heritage, because look, it's hard to get three alpha males to coach high school football together, especially to do it together. Tell me how much success you guys are having over there.
The best part about it, I think I've been the longest on the tenure of high school football. Uh, I'm actually now the defensive coordinator at American Heritage. This will be my 10th, 12th year. And like you said, having three guys, those guys came in and, basically learned to handle high school athletes. I was at St. Thomas Aquinas. I was a running backs coach, coached some great players there, but, brought the tradition to American Heritage Plantation. And we are won 3 out of the last 4 or 4 out of the last 5 state championships. And it's something that, people think it's easy now, the way, you get kids and you play with what you have. Uh, Compared to two schools, St. Thomas got 150 kids, we got 45. And that's the way we deal with it each and every year. Our kids are warriors, for one. We got 11 on defense, 11 on offense, and whoever fills in after that, they got to learn the game, because the school, American Heritage, is from K to 12. We're not a 9th to 12th school. So, our kids are groomed. We got guys like Sony Michelle that went from 8th grade, and you probably know him. He plays for the
Yeah,
Patriots. And
yeah.
basically, he's a guy that, I coached and was under, and you see the way that the trend has been set here at American Heritage.
Yeah, but not only you mentioned Sony Michelle, you got Nevin Silvestri, who's down at the University of Miami. I really think he's gonna have a breakout year if we can get over this whole pandemic thing, because I just like the way his work ethic is. You got Tyson Campbell. I think Tyson's up at Georgia, right? You know,
Tyson's at Georgia. You
yeah.
got you got Nestor Severa at Miami, Tyson at Georgia, Pat Surtain at Alabama, uh, uh, Marco Wilson at Florida. We got quite a few. We got Brian Burns when it came out last year, Isaiah McKenzie from Buffalo. We got some good names. These kids are real talented athletes. They didn't get the big looks, I guess, per se, when you say these guys are transferring to schools just to go to schools. A lot of these kids build, come in and build from what we put out on the table for them.
And that's the thing that I respect more about you. People always talk about athletes and their careers. I respect the guys that come back and they do the groundwork and they teach these young men how to become model citizens. It ain't all about the game itself. You know what I mean? I look at some of these kids now. I mean, I had a few out there on the field today, because I do some work with the city of Fort Lauderdale. And the kids come out there and they don't realize that there's going to be more life after the game of football than there is while you get a chance to play it. And so that's why I'm glad those guys come back to you guys and they get the grounding that they need to be successful after the game is over with.
I totally agree, B. And it all comes with the character, and a lot of kids don't understand that part of being recruited, because it's the way you handle yourself. not just on the field, but off the field, and everyday life. In my meetings, defensive meetings, I'm talking about life and how to meet other kids besides your teammates. At American Heritage, it's so diverse that you can meet your best friend, which is probably going to be a lawyer. They got Help Me Howard teach there. They got Donovan Campbell teach there. So you got people around these kids that can show them the way, and things like that they don't really understand until after they leave and come back. Like, Coach, you told me, this game is not forever, and it means just exactly what it is, not for long. And we come back and basically be able to tell them how this thing works, because I could have played 12 years, but the more money you make, the harder it is to stay on a team.
That's right. But you're gonna get a chance this year to be Uncle Daryl to my nephew. Okay, Daryl's gonna get a chance to coach my nephew Deuce, which is Brian's son. And I always tell people, I love AJ, who's at the University of Miami, but I really think little Brian has a chance. He's gonna be one of those special athletes. I told him, I said, when you get over there, you make sure Uncle Daryl play at safety and at corner.
Listen, but the best part about getting a chance to coach him is that he's always been around the game. From Al, from you, from Brian, myself. Now you actually get to be able to put your hands on him and give him the knowledge to teach him how to play this game. The hardest thing for me last year was coaching my son into his senior year, and people don't understand how difficult it is. He's been coached by Pat Surtain, Sam Madison, and been around Arande all his life, but when it comes down to that time where for say nut cutting time and understanding that, detail and understand how to take on this game, it's going to be exciting. One, I know he knows the game. Two, he's very intelligent, and that you can't teach football to a person that is good in the classroom.
And that's the thing, I really appreciate you coming on. But before I go to a commercial break, I got one story that I read up on you. Boy, I did not. I've been knowing you from a little old tot. I did not know you caught a shark, my brother. You caught a shark?
Hey, man, that Wikipedia, them people, I got friends that know the computer. They actually know I love the fish, and it was more like Nemo. Let's say Nemo, okay? But I get to talk and speak in front of people all the time about this shark, the great white shark. That story is really something that happened, but it wasn't a great white. I don't know how
Look, man,
we got to the great white.
I'm thinking you don't jumped in there and you don't caught Jaws or something.
Yeah, I don't think I want to deal with that. I'm just telling you, that's a great story, and that story came from my friend Sean Keller, which owns Great Western Printing, and he's a character, and he always has some stuff. And I don't even know how to get on Wikipedia, and people ask me this question all the time about this shark, and I was like, man, how do I explain this that it was Nemo?
All right, well, it was a pleasure talking to you, DP. I'm sure after this coronavirus is over with, me and you sit down, we'll knock back a few beers. Love you, my brother. All right, and now on commercial break. Talk to you later.
Thanks, man.
Hello, I'm Michael Nathanson with the Nathanson Brothers Real Estate Team.
And I'm your mortgage man, Dan Nathanson with People's Home Equity Mortgage. And together we have over 30 years combined experience serving the South Florida market. And our team, systems, and service can help make the home buying and selling process quick, easy, profitable, and fun, all in a genuinely caring environment.
Yes, we are here to help. So, if you want to avoid the 3 deadly mistakes during the home buying and selling process, you need to call us today.
And if you have a mortgage interest rate right now above 4%, give me a call because this is a great opportunity to bring that rate down.
Yes, so again, we are here to help. To call Dan about a mortgage, call at 561-948-1591.
And if you'd like to get some help real estate wise, call my brother Michael at 561-948-1592.
Yes, so we want to help you, your friends, your
and your
family
family
members, and coworkers
be sold by the pros.
His abilities as a dry cleaner are so undeniable, Dry Clean Only tags have his phone number printed on the back. Stubborn stains sometimes call him late at night just to apologize. His pickup and delivery service is so fast, his vans have pit crews. He is the most interesting dry cleaner in the world.
You don't always dry clean, but when you do, use A&T Dry Cleaners. Stay dirty, my friends.
Welcome back to the studios of the 2 Minute Warning with your host, Benny Blades. Mr. Blades, are you ready?
I am ready, and welcome back to the 2 Minute Warning. I am your host with the small most. I am Benny Blades. My next guest, Mr. OG himself. That don't mean old guy. That means Oronde Gaston. Welcome on the line, my brother. How are you doing?
Good. I'm trying to stay under the radar with this COVID-19 thing going on.
Well, no. We all trying to stay up on the radar. I'm trying to stay up under the radar when it comes to this concussion protocol. They seem to think if you could do a radio show, ain't nothing wrong with your head.
Hey, they try to find all type of reasons to keep it. They don't want to give it away now. That's for
sure. Yeah. But look, my brother, I'm glad you came on with me, for a little short period of time. Look, we've been talking about this draft. And like I was talking to DP, there's a lot of, misconceptions out there that everybody thinks you have to be a first-round draft pick to stay in the NFL for a long period of time. But you've proven them all wrong. You've gone the long route. You had a stint with the Frankfurt Galaxy, the Portland Forest. People are going to say, well, who are those clubs? That's the NFL Europe League, the Arena Football League. But you're most known for catching Dan Marino's last touchdown pass. How was that, my brother? You've been known for a great thing now.
Yeah, it's been a good journey, man. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Coming from Winston-Salem State, where we only had 2,500 students, was tough. But just like everything else, you get that watershed moment. And I think, I played with another guy from Yancey Thigpen had just got drafted from Winston-Salem State my junior year, and he gave me the motivation and inspiration. If he could do it, I could do it. And I followed him. I didn't get drafted. I ran a 4.7 on the pro day that we had at Wake Forest, a neighboring school. And I got a free agent shot at the Cowboys, and I made it happen, After that, I did play in NFL Europe. That was a eye-opening experience, and the Arena League, which was in Portland, Oregon. And, you get all types of calls, even your friends, my boys would call me and say, man, why are you out there? Just shut it down, man, and come home and work. But like y'all were saying earlier, hard work and dedication and seeing the guys before you do it really gave me the motivation to keep on going. And a guy that y'all know very well from here, when I got to Dallas, took me under his wing, Michael Irvin, and showed me how to really play the wide receiver position at the NFL level, and that was a great thing, and helped me get over here to Miami, and was able to have the confidence to go out there and do my thing.
Well, I'm glad you had to learn up under an NFL legend, because Mike, you and Mike are cut from the same mold. You know what I mean? You're big, tall, strong wide receivers. Mike himself probably ran about a 4.6, wasn't a fast guy, but he knew how to get open, such as yourself in
Right.
your years in Miami. And so those are the things that I love. Like I was telling the audience earlier, that you and Daryl, you go back and you're the wide receivers coach, am I not mistaken, over at American Heritage? And so you get to show these young guys what it is to become a complete receiver.
Yeah, Darryl and I were roommates in Pittsburgh. That was always that we go back, a ways. Obviously not as far as you guys, but in '96, '97, we were roommates for the Pittsburgh Steelers before he got to Detroit. So I've known Darryl. We've been together for a while, going back and forth, and so now our paths have crossed again. And we, like we said, we've been at American Heritage coaching together for about 7-8 years now, and it's always been fun. You get to teach the kids. He even had to help us, Pat and I. He had to show us, like, this is not the NFL. Those kids don't know all the things you know. You have to break it down to the very last compound. Because the first year, I was like, y'all don't know how to do that? They were like, no, Coach, you never taught us. I'm like, you should just know that, though. Like, but,
No.
we had this, Dow had to tell us how to do it because he had been in the game for a while. So we finally learned, and we got it together. So it is nice to see kids start from that embryo stage and then all of a sudden blossom into, the player that they are now, and some of them have become. So it's definitely a blessing for us, and I've always thought it was a gift for us as ex-NFL players to give back what we know. If we just hold on to all the knowledge we got, they ain't doing nobody good. So I learned from him and Pat. They've had sons come before me at American Heritage. Now my son's a senior, so it's been definitely a second journey that you, like you said earlier, that you will have this journey more than you have the football journey. So it's all good.
And I, like I said, I'm gonna tell you, like I told Darryl, I really appreciate guys like yourself for going back and giving back to these young kids, because because you get the old cliche all the time. Well, if you could coach them, why don't you coach in, college football? Why don't you go and coach in the NFL? And I tell people all the time, if your passion is not to want to deal with the Antonio Browns of the world, who's making $13-14 million a year and giving his butt to kiss, but you rather deal with young talent to where you can motivate these kids so they can go off and be successful in college and hopefully get that chance to go on to the pros. To me, that's more satisfying than coaching in the National Football League.
Without a doubt, I think it's a lot of distraction, a lot more interesting, and like you say, I think beneficial to even us as the coaches to see these guys blossom into who they can become. But it's a little tougher than it was when you and I grew up. We didn't have all the camps, we didn't have all the 7-on-7s. We just had straight, go off work ethic and off the muscle to make it what we wanted. But like you said, I think the first thing you have to have is the passion for the game. The game is the game. You can't cheat the game. We tell the kids all the time, you can't, when you get on the grass, when you cross that field, cross those white lines onto that grass, you can't cheat it. You can't cheat it because, it's bad news if you cheat it. It's unforgiving. You got to give 100% when you're out there. I tell the kids all the time, the kids that, have the good things happen are going 100. The kids that have sometimes bad things happen, they going like 50, 60 because they're not sure. If you're going to go out there, go 100. Give it your all. And so we try to get that, to understand that on and off the field. In the classroom, they're student athletes, students first, and they have to give their 100% just like they do on the football field in the classroom. And when you see it all come together and you see these players like a Sony Michel or Brian Burns, and even like, Pat and Marco and Schwartz and Tyson, you see these things and they all come together, you like, wow. And then you just turn around and try to do it all again. But You know, every person's different. It's like, you know, coaching snowflakes. You're not gonna have the same. You may have the blueprint, but all things, you know, every kid is different. The situations they come from are different, and so I think that's the challenge that we take on as coaches and former NFL players to try to bring the best out of these kids.
Well, I appreciate that. And just on a somber note right now, I don't know if you got a chance to play for the legendary Don Shula. Everybody know he passed away at the age of 90 this past Monday. What were your thoughts and your feelings on how the organization of Miami Dolphins that you play for, his legacy is going to be missed?
Well, I definitely think I didn't play for Don Shula, but he's been around since day one, as long as I got there in '98. So he's been around. His influence is around. You see all the great players come back. I think the Miami Dolphins is definitely a A1 class organization. I think they definitely got the biggest alumni in the NFL because most of the players come back and make their home in South Florida. And with the 72 team and everything else, you see the players every other day. It's a class act, and I think when it's all said and done, I think Don Shula's print will be on the game for the way he gave us all. A lot of the coaches.
Hey, Aronde, I'm sorry to cut you off, but look, I got to thank my sponsors. Once again, sponsoring the show. Thank you for coming on, my brother. And Wines for Humanity, please go out, support AACY and Wines for Humanity. This is Benny Blades, I'm your host, and I tune in next week when I'll be talking to Tony Sands and Asante Samuel. For tonight,
Anton Steinhardt, founder of Wines for Humanity, is proud to team with Black Shiraz partner and former NFL star Benny Blades to assist in his Benny Blades 36 Foundation in helping children with special needs. Go to winesforhumanity.com, look for the 20% off wine specials, make your selection, and use the code BB36F20. Please join the team through winesforhumanity.com or call Dana Lisa Torres at 561-445-7066. Thank you.
You've been listening to the 2-Minute Warning with Benny Blades. We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Tune in again next week for our next episode. You can follow the 2-Minute Warning on Benny Blades' Facebook page and share it with your friends. Mr. Blades, get ready.